Oh, buddy, Andy here again. Well, this morning I happened to tweet that I didn't give a flying expletive inserted here of who was going to be the Christmas #1 here in the UK this year. It's one of those things that's happened over the last few years. The Christmas #1, in my opinion anyway, has lost all relevance. I suppose this has been building up for a long time, but with the sort of prevalence over the last few years of the X Factor and all those idol type programs, the sort of glorified karaoke singers that we get now that come out of those programs, and they're more or less guaranteed a #1. You remember 2 or 3 years ago, however long it was now, when there was this big campaign for the Rage Against the Machine, the Killing in the Name of, to get to #1. I actually went out and bought that. Well, went out and bought it. I downloaded it legally and helped it actually get to #1. There was a little tinge of something there, get you Simon Cowell type of thing. But it expressed that whole sense of frustration, which is still continuing because the X Factor finals are going on over this weekend. I believe it all finishes tomorrow night. And the winner will be singing their song, which will be recorded. If it hasn't been recorded already, it'll go on sale probably on Monday, and then it will be #1 for Christmas, pretty much guaranteed. But as per usual with that, since the Rage Against the Machine episode happened and it got to #1, a bit of a shock there. The only bit of interest we've had in the Christmas #1, I suppose, over the last 10, 15, maybe even further than that many years. There's other people coming out. In fact, I've literally just seen on Facebook someone tweeting or something coming up on there about Nirvana to #1. It's that rebellion against the X Factor and the fact they got such a stranglehold over the charts, over the whole music business, especially here in the UK. But when it comes to Christmas, as I said before, it's more or less guaranteed the #1 slot, and they're trying to get Smells Like Teen Spirit, 20-year-old song this year. I can't be bothered. I had it with the Rage Against the Machine. It was a bit of fun, a bit of excitement, I suppose, even there. But now, I just can't be bothered, as I said, with the whole thing. There are other ones coming on. There's Military Wives coming up. I'd rather anything one apart from the X Factor song. But as I said in that tweet, does it really matter anymore? Does anyone really care about this sort of thing? Is it just media hype? Trying to build up something about something that people really don't care about now. To get a single into the charts now takes very, very few copies compared to what it used to, especially sort of 20 years ago. Yes, I know that the #1 song, being an X Factor song, will actually sell quite a few copies because of all that exposure that it's had, that free media exposure on the TV, primetime TV, and all the newspaper stuff and hype that's gone with it. It's more or less guaranteed to sell hundreds of thousands of copies, but that is the exception rather than the rule. Most other people just don't care. They do, and it's so easy to buy something now. You just click on a link, don't you, and you buy it. There's no real thought involved, and it's only 70 odd pence or 99 cents or whatever it is. So you don't think about it quite so much. And then give it a few months and you probably never play that song again. Whatever happens to the X Factor people who used to be there, how many can you name who won or who got in the last final two or something, who are still doing something now, many years later? You can count them on one hand if you can remember any of them at all. And how many of them would you consider to be actually good performing artists? I mean, writing their own songs and all that, and we can go into big arguments. But it takes me back. Maybe I'm being nostalgic here. Maybe I'm going back to the 70s, my childhood. But they were great songs. Those songs that are still played on the radio now. You've got your radio on at work or in the car. And the Christmas songs will come out. I guarantee you that the vast majority, if not all, of the good Christmas songs that you hear on the radio are old. They're not new ones. People don't tend to write classic, standalone Christmas songs like they used to. Maybe it's because people don't buy them anymore. There isn't the interest. There isn't the surprise or whatever that used to go on, and there used to be this battle. And there used to be a bit of an excitement. It used to sort of build up over the weeks. Who is going to be #1? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Now there's only one alternative. I look back to the days of Slade and Wizard and Elton John and whoever it might be, and you can go back to Bing Crosby and White Christmas. You get a Christmas album. It's got all those classic songs that you hear from sort of September onwards in supermarkets and things like that. But they were good songs. Yes, they were written especially for Christmas. They're not bad songs in their own right, and some of them still stand up now. Yes, there's some rubbish, the wheat, separate the wheat from the chaff. But now it's just all chaff, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I don't care who's #1 this year. I know who it's going to be. But really, I just don't care. So maybe this little rant, it's not going to make any difference to anybody else. Maybe I'm just being nostalgic and old and all that sort of stuff and a bit of a grumpy old man. But frankly, I don't give a damn anymore about that type of thing. And I don't think that many other people will actually worry about who's number one. I'm sure it'll be reported in the paper and everything, but people just look at it and think, yeah, so what? Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for your time. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.